Hello, Pisces North Node. This is Samara, your feminist alchemist. Welcome to your reading for May 2022, but it's starting on April 30th with the new moon. I go from the new moon to the new moon. So April 30th, new moon, to May 29th, as the next new moon is May 30th after that. So this is a general reading, so the messages may not resonate with everybody. Just take what strikes a chord with you and let the rest float away on a cloud of fairy dust to who else in your Pisces North Node collective needs to hear that message at this time. If you're feeling this reading, give it a like, a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to be notified when I upload. This is a North Node reading. If you are new to my channel, I only read for the North Node, so these readings are not meant for any other major placement. It is not for your sun, moon, or rising, or Venus sign, only the North Node. What is the North Node? You may ask. And why is it so important? It is a point in your birth chart that signifies your source of soul expansion in this lifetime, and it tells you where your growth opportunities lie and ultimately what your soul would like to experience in this lifetime to add to its wealth of experience. I do have a short video that covers the general meaning of the North Node as I've been guided to understand it. Plus, you can check out the specifics of your North Node sign, explained in depth by YouTube astrologer Astro Finesse. Both links have been posted in the description box below. If you're not sure what your North Node sign is, I have linked two options in the description box as well as to where you can find that out. You can go to my website where I have a North Node chart, or you can just look it up there. You could also run your birth chart and find out your North Node placements as well as many other useful placements. So with that, I shall begin. I am starting with the universal energies, and this time I am using the deck called Return of Spirit by Cheryl Lee Harnish. Oh, sorry about that. I should have turned stuff off here. Yes, so this is a fractal art deck. I have all three of her decks. I love them all. All of the decks I'm using today are linked below. They are affiliate links, and you can check them out there. Oh, so your first card that came out is Starseed. Up. Storm. I get one more. Right. Okay, so when I was setting up for this reading, I sit down and I sit at this table and I say my meditations, incantations, and me and the divine and my guides, we put together the decks together. I don't know how to, they don't tell me exactly which decks to use. It's about how the decks communicate with each other, what energy is going on in the universe at this time, and, who they foresee as the people who will be attracted to this video as well. And I don't usually use this deck as the first deck. I use Path of the Soul, but Return of Spirit called to me, or called to us, because now is very much a time of returning to ourselves, even though it feels like, we talk a lot about ascension and expansion. That's all true, but the other way of looking at it is that you spent a lot of lifetime building up, let's say, the walls of your own, I don't want to call it a prison, of your own limiting beliefs. And so it is a time of reconnecting with what's already there. And some is waking of gifts that you are supposed to utilize, but ultimately it's about a return to yourself at this time. So they're telling me that these aren't energies that you're reaching for as much as they're what's being revived within you. Starseed, a lot of you may be feeling like you are, you have experience outside of this lifetime, outside of the earthly realm, or have particular gifts. You're being awoken to some spiritual gifts, manifestation, light work. You may have certain innate talents, like things that you feel like you never really had to learn. They just kind of exist within you. And up for me, I'm getting the vibration of it being about an ascension. No, they say raising your expectations and opening your higher chakras as well. Because they're showing me like this bit of red and the green and the blues. They also say like speaking up, speaking your truth. It's also having higher expectations for yourself. Storm. I see a massive reconfiguration. Now, they're not saying that this is going to be totally slow or they're not telling me the speed of it, but there is you see this, but it's in this wonderful figure 8 kind of constellation. There is the storm of needing to clear things away, but the storm also brings the rains for nourishing any seeds that you have planted. And right is pretty obvious. So you may be called to do some of this speaking up through writing, but I also am getting just the vibe of writing your own story. I am getting a lot of energy of possibility, that however you look at things, however you determine that you want things to be, is what will be. And it's time for you to recognize your role in authoring your own future and your own life. They're saying that you're much more influential in what your life looks like than you recognize or realize at this point. And this is what they're trying to get you to see, because once you raise your expectations, then and start writing your own story, the storm will configure your environment to fit what you expect. I am looking at your higher self / 5D energies here. Now, don't take it as your higher self exists in the 5D. It's just the way that my team wants me to communicate it right now, as part of, let's say, the next milestone that your higher self is beckoning you towards is in the 5D. This is what they're telling me. I am shuffling 2 oracle decks that I've mixed together. It's the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle and the Sacred Geometry of Relationships by Lon. Okay, I'm just going to put these here so I can show them to you before I lay them out, actually. Of course, if at any time you want to skip the shuffling, you are more than welcome to fast forward. I just need one more card, please. Yeah, there it is. Okay, let's see what you have here. So we have presence, grace, third eye chakra, authenticity, integrity, and freedom. Okay, the first step in any type of growth is really being honest about where you are now. And they're saying where you are now is not as... You're not as stuck as you necessarily may feel yourself to be. Some of you, those of you out there who don't feel stuck, but don't necessarily know what the next step is to move forward. Presence is about seeing the situation for what it is, or seeing your environment in its totality. Even the mundane things, and recognizing patterns, synchronicities, opportunities. This all comes from presence, and this also allows them to communicate with you because you're not constantly thinking of changing the past or the future, right? You're just in the here and now, and from the here and now, you can be guided by your team to what the next action should be. Your only realm of influence is in the present, in your presence and in the present. Grace is about seeing those things with, compassion, mercy, and love. Ultimately, I'm seeing like a rise above energy as well. Although at this level, I'm not seeing that you're dealing with any one major area. It may be okay, I'm getting that you have to give things a chance to be different. And this is all like this star seed with the purple, the third eye chakra, which I'm going to get to, and grace. It all has a lot of violet flame energy for me. So where you're focusing your attention is very important, and how you choose to react to what you pay attention to. So if you pay attention to something and you automatically get angry and frustrated, then how can you deal with that with grace and change what you're focused on? But at the same time, there is power in being honest about what your reaction is, or what your emotional state is in response to certain things around you. So acting with grace does not mean I never get upset, but it is about how do you deal with that? And this is where being the author of your story comes, right? And I'm getting, in the same kind of energy, or the continuing energy and integrity and freedom, that you truly are in this position, or your team is trying to show you that you, like, look at the colors in Storm as well, and look at the colors in Starseed, and look at Third Eye Chakra and Grace. And you have the freedom to use this power that you have to create whatever you want to create, as long as you're creating with integrity. And that's why it's very important that you are authentic and true to what it is you're feeling, because you don't want to be creating anything out of a basis of fear, revenge. Oh, I want to look good to these people. It's okay to want to feel affirmed in life. However, creating from that point may mean that you're missing out on the opportunity to use your ability to create your reality, to create something that is truly fulfilling to you. Because once you have that affirmation from these people whose opinions you care about, but you don't actually care about, I mean, like, you don't love them and appreciate and honor them in your life. I don't know why that specific example came up, but that's the example they're giving me. It's like, once you have their approval, then what? Then you go home to, possibly not your ideal living situation, because you spent your third eye creative energy to create this situation where you get approval from your, let's just say, like, work colleagues, for example, but you didn't spend any of that energy making your home a one that you come home to and feel comfort in and loved in, right? So you have the freedom to create whatever you want. And they want you to make sure that you create something that is really the highest, high expectations for yourself. And allow some of your dreams to not really be, they're saying, like, dream beyond what you see in the earthly realm. Don't look to what other people have done and say, I want to do that. It can start there, but go well beyond that, because your energy is needed to create this weave of dreams for a higher frequency. This is what they're telling me. I'm just letting the reading go where it goes. So, and with the Starseed card there is a lot of energy about your purpose being tied in your frequency and not in your, like, profession, let's say. And that's why they say looking up, look to the heavens for your inspiration, as opposed to looking at the past or what you feel is. Don't be limited by what you think is possible in the earthly realm. Like, really look well beyond that. Because even if you don't get there in this lifetime, there's an energy of, you don't want the regret of not having dreamed big enough. I'm here shuffling. I'm sorry. It's like loud over the speaking. Oh, okay. We got one there. So I have the Star Child Tarot. And I just pulled the major arcana and some of the bonus cards that come with this deck. And we're looking at your 3D energy, what's going on in your life and your physical, tangible world at the moment that is presenting opportunities for growth. So the first card we have here is the Magician, which continues this theme of you being able to manifest whatever. What else for Pisces North Node? Pisces North Node. These two go together and they go here. So we have this, we have Strength and the High Priestess. I really love this deck. It's one of my favorite decks and I haven't touched it in a while. And we feel so happy to be together again right now. Card 15, Oppression, which would normally be, in the traditional, would be the Devil. Is there, I think they're changing around the, no, they're not. Okay, I thought they were changing around the way they want the cards. And here's a special card in this deck. We have Akashic Records, card 22 in this deck. So, so with the Magician, I'm getting that you may be also have a lot of ideas of what you want and don't know what to settle on to create. But you are recognizing that in some way that you have a choice of what you want to create. What's nice about it is that you have both the Strength card and the High Priestess. Now they're saying to me that you may also have started realizing that you are affecting what's happening around you, or at least how you process what's happening around you. You've had some situations come up where you're recognizing like your actions, reactions, expectations are affecting your reality. With the Strength card is telling me that you're having a bit of a hard time balancing what that, like your lion and your lamb, your vulnerability and your aggression, let's say, or so yeah, I'm trying to put this into words. It feels like you're not in control of what you're creating, and you're also becoming kind of aware of that. You would like to be in more control of your mind. I'm getting that you'd like to be in more control of your third eye chakra, you know, your intuition, your sight, or even how you think about things. But your emotions sometimes get the better of you. And so the High Priestess is telling me that while you intuitively have an idea that, oh, I could manifest things purposefully. Some of you may be exploring magic, green magic, affirmations, law of attraction. So you may be getting into those into a realm of creating with your mind. But you're finding that as much as you want to create with your mind, there's a lot of emotions that you're not necessarily in control of. And this is a little bit of the storm that they're also kicking up for you, because they're saying like, yeah, you have good intentions, but you still have some ish that needs to be processed, that you need to release from your field so that you can be balanced. Because in this Oppression card, there's something that you are suppressing. Like you're suppressing your authenticity and integrity, maybe because what you really feel and what you have to say is, you know, is going to rock the boat in some way, it's going to be uncomfortable for you. Because remember, Pisces North Node, your South Node is in Virgo. Virgo? Yes, correct. And Virgo is Earth, very makes everyone happy and comfortable in the home. The virgin, the someone that people can confide in. And Pisces is more of a go with the flow, but they're more exposed, let's say, because fish, it has scales, and what else does it really protect itself with other than its ability to navigate water, right? To navigate emotions. So you may be called at this point, Pisces North Node, to literally, they're saying, like, throw yourself in the deep end and learn how to navigate emotions, because your emotions are part of your authenticity and integrity. They're not a weakness. They are telling you what is in alignment or out of alignment with your soul's vibration. Either thoughts that you're holding or situations that you encounter. And I get that you're not letting them flow freely. Now, the Akashic Records is telling me that some of this is related to this lifetime, past situations in this lifetime, but there are some that you may be able to resolve or that are coming up from a past lifetime. So if you're having dreams where you feel very specifically like you're seeing scenes from another country or even another planet, that may be a lifetime that wants to give you wisdom, wants to integrate, or wants to be healed so that you can move forward. And you are, once again, encouraged to write. This can include journaling about your dreams. And at first, it really doesn't matter how much of it you remember, but once you get into the habit and set the intention that you go to bed and remember your dreams, then you'll remember more and more. And they want me to share from my experience. From my experience, I used to remember my dreams a lot. And then lately, I haven't been remembering as much, and I can only scribble down some 10 or 15 key things that I saw, and then the whole image is gone. So how busy your mind is will also determine whether or not how much that you're able to really remember from your dreams. And as you are working on this balance, it will start to become easier. Oh, cards are just flying today. I was actually not going to do a reading today. I set up the table and I already, did my kind of, as I said, my meditation and blessing, and chose the cards with my spirit team. But yeah, it's already getting later than I would usually do readings at. And, but the cards were just calling that they have something to say right now. So the Death card in reverse is your first card. These cards are, how are we bridging your 3D reality with this 5D beckoning energy? What actions can you take to make the most out of these situations in your physical reality to bring you soul expansion and growth? The Mother of Cups. We're going quite a bit faster than usual, but that's okay. That was the Father of Pentacles. This is the Wild Unknown Tarot that I'm using here. So, Father of Pentacles. And, ooh, the Magician again, but in reverse this time. Okay, so I feel like I want to shift the camera a little bit. Let's see. Okay, that's better for me. I don't know if it's better for you, but I hope so. Okay, the Death card in reverse. feeling like there are certain things that you need to let go of that you haven't let go of yet. But at the same time, it's not about, so they're telling me it's not about something, there's not something foreign to you that's coming to the surface, right? And this is why, I was guided for the first deck to be Return of Spirit, because it's really about a returning to self. And they're saying that you're kind of seeing something as a death rebirth process when it's not. It's more of a dropping a mask or an acknowledging who you truly are. Because I'm getting that you've been fighting and trying actually to reinvent yourself, but not necessarily for the right reasons. With the Mother of Cups, it's time that you tend to your emotions. And they're showing me that this is a swan. And swans, they're saying, the people are like, Swan Lake, oh, swans, they're so beautiful. But apparently they're very nasty, territorial birds. Like they're fierce. And I don't want to say nasty like they're bad, but it's just they're pretty fierce. They are monogamous, right? They mate for life. They are defensive of their mate. They're defensive of their territory. And there is a call for you to be like this fierce nurturer and protector of yourself and of your emotions. To be the guardian of your emotions, and also like the guardian in the expression of those emotions. So expressing them and not looking necessarily for someone to understand your emotions, but you saying them because you have a right to feel them and you have a right to express them. And they're saying to me, you may have to be willing to be an ass about it, to be honest. There's times when people are very willing to tell you their opinion of you, right? Or force their opinion on you, but they don't want to hear anything back in return. And it's like, you're allowed to be just as opinionated, just as stubborn, just as emotional, just as passionate as anybody else. So that is a freedom that we all should enjoy, right? Because holding back our emotions for keeping peace is not sustainable. And so they're showing me even someone's like, even if you can't tell someone off to their face, like if you write a blog and just knowing that it's out there in public, for anyone to read, oh, my experience with this barista, why are people like this? Or, my experience with an ex, is this really what healthy relationships are built on? Like just like opinion type musing pieces, whether you publish them or not, it's like just let your opinion and your emotions out. And be the energy that says, yes, this is healthy. This is, you're entitled to this, and you're entitled to not bear the weight of regret for not having said your opinion, and the weight that comes with rethinking a situation and wishing that you've said something different, or, holding on to a resentment. Like, you get to let it go. And that is where your focus should be. It's what do you need to shake up to set yourself free, to remove the debris and to plant the seeds, or to water the seeds of what you are trying to accomplish for your future. Or rather, they're saying to accomplish for your present, right? You're entitled to all of the dreams of tomorrow to be present today in some way, shape, or form, right? And they're saying that those dreams of tomorrow are all present today. And that's why your presence in this moment is also so important, so that you can recognize. So, like, they're showing me a field where the seeds are planted, and you see little sprouts, sprouts popping up. But there's also weeds, and there's also, spider webs and whatever else grows in the field. I'm sorry, I'm not very agricultural. I don't have the big green thumb, although I'm working on it. But in the busyness of life, you may not recognize that little things are sprouting, right? Little seeds that you have planted are sprouting in an inquiry, in a booking, for example, in a phone call, in a windfall, like a little money back from something, or a gift card from somewhere that you didn't expect. It's like you have to start seeing in the present the sprouts of your dreams for the future, of this future that you want to create. And from those sprouts, you start to see like the bigger, an even bigger dream that you can accomplish. Father of Pentacles, which is the King of Pentacles. Oh, I ended up going all the way around to here without really touching the cards, but it is that. It's the, how do you deal with this thinking that you are, so from the oppression card, I'm getting the feeling that you think that you're not entitled to express yourself. Or you are timid. Maybe you're not that outspoken about things. Because you don't want to rock the boat. The Father of Pentacles is like, look, this is the buck, right? With these rainbow antlers and and this pentacle here. This is the sense of entitlement that I was talking about, and the defending of what you create for yourself. The knowing that you can create something and defending what you create. So you have two cards that are asking you basically to parent yourself in very specific ways. One is the mother who is holding a space for your emotional well-being, and the other is the father who is holding space for your like material, physical abundance well-being. Because the emotional, I don't know why they keep wanting me to say ish, but no, not in that. I don't like to use any curse words, but yes, there's a lot of muck. Let's call it muck. That in the emotional body that is affecting the physical realm for you. And that's why you got to clear it out, because I'm getting the sense that there could also be like a health problem behind it. that you're not fully aware is connected to you holding in emotion. The Magician in reverse with the High Priestess. That's very interesting there. Oh, so yeah, this is, to me, is your manifestation. Your mind has been manifesting things. Now, you may not realize that you may be totally gifted with the power of like easy manifestation, right? And so it requires you to kind of take a step back and really get to know your gifts, is what I'm getting from the Magician in reverse. It's like, get to know what gifts you have available to you. Get to know what, like what gifts in the physical realm, what gifts in your environment, but also these gifts that are being awoken in you, your divine talents, which we all have and which we could all develop. But some of us were like they're more at the surface, put it that way. They're more part of our everyday way of living, or the way our soul wants to live life, is, clairvoyance, clairaudience, certain healing abilities, sound, making very healing music or very influential music, being a master of words, creating spells, or influencing people through the written word, right? So get to know what your tools of manifestation are. Just take a step back, slow down some, so that you can figure out what those are. And dream big about what you can do about them, and clear anything out of the way that gets in the way of you really being able to lean into those talents and blessings and resources that have been made available to you. Now, I forget what this one was. They asked me to put this deck out and I'm doing these four corners here again, but it's like another layer of the four corners. And, oh yes, directly, this is information now that has directly to do with your soul purpose. So they were saying that, some people really need some reassurance and some info on why their life is going the way it's going right now. And this is starting with the North Node, but going beyond it into these cards. This deck that I'm using now, we're going to go a little bit beyond it into soul purpose. Lightly, we could do a whole other reading on your soul purpose. You could also book a reading with me for finding out your soul purpose. I do have personal readings available. But this, we're going to touch upon Pisces North Node collective commonalities in soul purpose, your higher purpose, and why your life may be moving in certain directions for the month of May. The Magician, again, you've gotten this is the third, all three tarot decks that I have used have gotten the Magician card. So, Master, Manifester, you are meant to be. You just have to find out what your tools, your given gifts of manifestation are. I love the color scheme of your reading. Like all of the purples and the blues are really give a very divine, very beautiful energy, Pisces North Node. So you are meant to flow in the sea of emotion. Two of Wands in reverse. You are not limited by career choices or paths, really whatever. So don't get tied up in your head about which direction am I supposed to go, because whatever direction you take is going to be the one, right? Because you are creating it. It's not about, should I be a cook or should I be a baker or a journalist? You know, it's about once you have chosen, because this to me also has indecisiveness. Once you have chosen the path, then it will be whatever you make it to be. Whatever path you choose will be whatever you make it to be. That is you. Like, you are the magician. You're in this reading 3 times, right? So part of your soul's purpose is to embody the magician. And then you have let me see if there's another card here. So those two came out together, but usually this really doesn't have more than 4. Yeah, okay, so they want it to, there we go. These two to go together. So we have the Chariot and the Queen of Swords. You are guiding this whole journey. And the Queen of Swords is like, Okay, so this is what I'm getting with the Queen of Swords. And it's interesting because I feel like I feel a Queen of Wands energy, even though it's the Queen of Swords. You are meant to guide this journey, the Chariot, and you're going to guide it with a balance of heart and intellect, of intuition and intellect. I'm also getting that a lot of what you write eventually may be actually received from your divine team. So they may steer you. Your part of your purpose as well is to be led by the divine. You need to, like, they're showing me how big how big the head is here. Because I'm sure you kind of see a couple faces in there. Like here it could be a head and this is a big wide open crown chakra, but here you also see a face. And then you see another shadow of a face. So there's a lot coming in from a divine source. And for you, there's a necessity to let go and trust that energy. Because your final card here is the Sun. Oh, Pisces North Node. Like, there's a total relinquish control energy in your soul's purpose here. So some of you out there, you may relate to the Starseed card very, very specifically, very directly, and very literally, that you do feel that you are a starseed. And that doesn't exclude anyone who doesn't feel that they're a starseed. It just means, in that literal sense, if you look up the definition of starseed. However, that doesn't mean that you're not divinely guided, right? Because with the Sun card, I just feel like I feel the energy of like an inner child dancing, being in their full joy. Yes, that's the word that they wanted. Full joy. Full joy yourself. There's no point. You are here to be basking in this glorious feeling. However you choose to get there, with the Two of Wands in reverse and the Chariot. However you choose to get there, however you choose to emit this joy, to receive the joy and emit it back out, that's up to you. That's what the Magician is for. You are creating it. That is part of your soul's purpose, is to be, if not like your main soul purpose, is to manifest. The end. And be an example to others of manifesting. And that is why you have to be very honest about what you feel, because when you're not honest about what you feel, you end up manifesting. I'm just going to say shit because they keep giving it to me. You keep manifesting shit that does not align with you, because subconsciously and sometimes very consciously, you're holding energies in that are not serving you, but they are like, seeping out of your skin and are totally in your field. So you're drawing things to you that you're unintentionally drawing things to you that you don't want, because you are a natural manifester and you cannot help it. So slowing down and getting a handle on your gifts, getting a handle on what you want, purposefully letting go or speaking your truth and letting go of any thoughts that are not serving you. Now, I'm not saying that this can happen one day to the next, but for sure this is likely a process and maybe not as simple as I'm putting it to you, right? It is, however, a necessary step, because they are telling me that whether or not you own it, you have a vibration that manifests your inner reality to the external reality at an alarming pace, above, beyond other people's abilities, like more than you know. And it will happen whether you're in control of it or not. So it's time now for you to harness that for your own benefit. So writing and getting really deeply into what you think and feel, writing slows you down to really process what you're thinking and feeling, intellectually and emotionally, because you have a good balance of intellectual cards and emotional cards in this. So, sorry, I totally shuffled and didn't even say anything about it because I was just talking. Queen of the Moon Oracle, Stacey DeMarco. And you got card number 9, Assessing. I'm going to read from the book. These are your final oracles. And then I'm going to pull from another oracle deck as well. So, it is time to assess your current position. Didn't we just say that like right at the beginning with the Presence card? You must make sure your blind spots are revealed and that you are honest with others and yourself. Sometimes the hard decision is the best decision. Sometimes, I already read that. You should be able to assess and move quickly based on that assessment. I am moving and choosing is the affirmation. You have begun your journey, and now it is time to assess where you are and what to do next. You have made a decision. You have worked and walked the path for some time, and yet you understand that in every journey it's wise action to check the map. Sometimes we go along a pathway and we keep going even if it seems like that way is no longer the right way for us. Sometimes we feel we have gone too far to turn around, and so we settle on a journey and destination that doesn't really suit us or satisfy us. However, if we had some courage, if we just had some courage, we could have reassessed as we went and perhaps ended up somewhere else, somewhere better. Now is the time to look carefully at all aspects of your life, especially the areas in which you have set some intentions or goals. Ask yourself, do I still want these things? Do I want that same end result? If the answer is no, ask yourself what you can do to maintain momentum and head towards what you now desire. Although it doesn't seem terribly glamorous, assessment has a high payoff for us if we bother to do it well. Doing it well means we really look hard at how things are going. All of us have some kind of blind spot, so it's worth exposing this by consulting a trusted friend or finding where negative repeating patterns are and looking for the cause. Shining a light on a blind spot and taking action to shift is one of life's big catalysts for change. And the companion stone or metal is azurite. I love the color of this card too. So you keep having purple and blue. There's a lot about your third eye chakra and the crown chakra. I do have a little bit of throat chakra energy coming through, but your third eye and the crown is a huge spot for you right now. Let's get some messages from the Guides. That is the name of this deck. Messages from the Guides by James Van Praagh. I think we're going to get 2 cards from them. Sorry, I have to laugh because when you see this card, you'll be like, I know you scripted this reading. Like, it must be. Okay, I'll take that one. So the first card that came out for you, thoughts create your reality. Yes, we said that all through this reading. So just confirmation that yes, that is the focus of this reading today, and something that you should keep in mind for the month of May, or from new moon to new moon. And then you also got take responsibility for your actions. So every action you take, you don't take any unconscious actions. Be aware of why you're doing what you're doing. And assess if your intentions are authentic and if they have integrity. Right? That's it. And if a storm comes, if your actions have created a storm, own the fact that you've created that storm because you needed things to be changed. If that created a conflict, if that created an uncomfortable situation, if that created, they're giving me a need for a roommate to move out, or need for someone to move, or you need to find a new job, then it is what it is. Because the bottom line is you're in the driver's seat, the chariot. You're in the driver's seat of your creations. So it's all up to you, which could be scary, but also doesn't have to be, because it could be very empowering, and your spirit team wants you to be empowered by it. So Pisces North Node, I did your reading first this time because you guys always end up falling to, I won't say falling to the wayside, but I end up coming out with your readings late because, you're the 12th of my 12 readings for the North Node. So I did you first so that you get your stuff a little early for once. That is fair for everyone. So whoever's on the other end of the spectrum can can get their reading late this month. No, I'm merely aiming to not be late with any of them. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. It's always a pleasure. Pisces North Node, and I wish you all the best for the month. Check me out on Instagram, drop me a line, and I'm also on TikTok. Other than that, I will see you next time. So, also, shameless plug, Grounding into Gaia is my new series that you can check out on YouTube as well. With that, I will leave you. Take care, Pisces North Node. Be well and stay blessed. Bye for now.